earlier in the week, we did have an opportunity to talk to someone about a stormwater runoff and community construction. Really, the Road Commission of Oakland County specifically planning a $350,000 project to replace a 90-year-old culvert located on Green Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township. Now, there are a few different perspectives about that project that we want to kind of unpack. But join us right here live on The Splash to talk about a little bit more detail. Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission of Oakland County, we have Craig Bryson joining us right here. Thank you for being here, Craig.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So I want to take my time with this first and foremost, Craig, and just break this down and just present the facts as they are. Starting off, and I know we talked about this already, but I want to kind of talk about it a little bit different. This culvert project that we're talking about, there's a few things going on, but I want you to just give us an overview of the primary objectives and the timeline for that culvert replacement project.
Right. So this is a fairly typical culvert replacement for us. This is, as you mentioned, it's a nearly 90-year-old culvert. The culvert is failing.
Right.
Our only objective here is to keep the road safe and open for the long term. The danger is if we do not replace this culvert in the near future, we would have to close the road because it would become at some point unsafe to cross that culvert. So as we do multiple times every year, we are simply coming in, replacing that culvert with a new culvert to maintain a safe road on Commerce Road there.
No, absolutely. And I love that you presented that and laid that out right there. So with that being said, I want to talk about this. The culvert, if I'm not mistaken, currently allows water from Green Lake and South Lake to flow underneath Commerce Road, and which is currently being used by over 8,000 vehicles daily, like we just talked about. With that being said, how is the Road Commission ensuring that water quality and environmental concerns raised by residents are addressed in this project?
Great question. First and foremost, we sympathize with the concerns of the residents. We have met with many of them. We've talked to them. We understand their concerns. The challenge for us is we do not have legal jurisdiction over water at all, water flow, water quality. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has that jurisdiction. In order to do anything that touches that water, we need a permit from Eagle. And Eagle wants to ensure that the water flow remains exactly as it is today. So they are mandating that we replace the culvert with a new culvert that does not change the flow of water at all. And that is what we will do. We will put in a new culvert. Whatever water flow is there now will be the water flow when we are done. We will not increase it. We will not decrease it. We will not change it. We will restore it as it is today.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. And with us right here live on The Splash, talking a little bit more about that 90-year-old culvert replacement on Commerce Road in West Bloomfield, Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission of Oakland County, Craig Bryson. Kind of getting a little bit more into that a little bit. What steps are being taken, if at all, to prevent erosion and protect the natural stream bed during and after that construction project?
Right. So again, Eagle regulates that, and they have some very strict requirements that we are required to follow.
Okay.
They will not issue us a permit to do this work unless we ensure that we will follow all these steps. So there are very careful steps we take during the project to ensure that the water flow doesn't change. There are very specific steps we take when we restore the new culvert to make sure that the water flow doesn't change. We have to model the water flow before we do that, ensure that the construction does not change that, ensure that the final product does not change that. We are following all those steps. Construction process will ensure that, and the final design will ensure that.
Okay. Good. So it seems like, from your perspective at least, you are doing everything within your power to pretty much make sure that you are abiding by the guidelines and still doing things to make sure that we are being proactive when it comes to our commute and our residents and things of that nature. And we do appreciate that clarification, Mr. Bryson. Lastly, before we go, any other important information that we may be missing or that you just want to let the community know about this project in general?
Just to reiterate, I think everybody knows that the project will require the road to be closed. That will be in 2025 because we're entirely removing the existing culvert and putting in a new one. And we can't do that without closing the road. So we appreciate that that'll be an inconvenience for area residents and motorists traveling through the area. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to close the road. We have created a detour route that will be Commerce Road to Union Lake Road to Willow Road to Hiller Road and back to Commerce Road. And we'll complete the project by the early fall of 2025. We'll start in the summer of and restore the water flow to exactly what it is now. We are working closely with Eagle. We're working closely with the West Bloomfield Township Environmental Board. We will meet all requirements that any of them have and ensure that what is put back in maintains what is there now.
Absolutely. And we appreciate your work, all of your effort, and we appreciate your time to kind of clarify some things right here on the Splash. Once again, joining us from the Road Commission of Oakland County, Senior Communications Manager Craig Bryson. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.